Good day. Let's go straight to our topic for today. We are dealing with corporate governance for grade 12. This is KZN paper for September 2024. As usual, the first part you find yourself dealing with low order questions in something like matching concept or one-word answers. From a previous presentation, we defined corporate governance is simply a code of conduct that must be followed with businesses trying to be ethical. So there is ethical considerations. If a business is making ethical decisions, then they are following the code of conduct. And in this case, the code of conduct is the King Code of 2016. That's the latest version for now. So let's start with the first question, 4.1. Choose the correct term from column B to match the description in column A. Write only letter A to E. Guidelines for the preparation of financial statements to ensure transparency. That will be B, IFRS. We can eliminate this one off. State out the rights, duties, and responsibilities of shareholders and directors. Our correct answer is A, Memorandum of Incorporation. So we can eliminate this one out. We are left with 3. And we have 2 entries this side. The total number of shares that a company can issue, or that is authorized the share capital, we can take this one out. Now you are left with 2. And the examiner always have this setup where you must really know what you are doing. Now the last one, financial matters must be reported conservatively. And the correct answer is C, which is our prudence concept. So there's nothing on item E. It was just a wild card to try and confuse learners there. Stay sharp, stay consistent. Always find these questions on corporate governance. Right. Moving on. Lutuli Limited. The information lists the financial year end 29 February. M. Kumalo is the CEO and the director of the company and is the majority shareholder. Okay, majority shareholder. So CEO, there are 2 other directors. Refer to information B. What is meant by corporate governance? Okay, this question is appearing again from our previous paper, our previous presentation, Free State paper. We had the same question. So we're going to take our answer that we used in the previous presentation and still use it today and try and make sure that each and every time when we deal with corporate governance, we can remember this. I said this is a code of conduct for businesses to become what? Ethical. Let us put our answer in these ways. So corporate governance ensures that the business has proper rules, policies, and practices in place to create long-term shareholder value. That is good corporate governance. To ensure that the business has proper rules, policies, and practices to create long-term shareholder value. And all the guidance about this is in our code of conduct, which is the King Code number 4 of 2016. Why is it important to the shareholders? And we need 1 point here to attract potential shareholders. Shareholders are attracted to a business that have got a sound best practices and procedures, businesses which are complying with the King Code. And once we have such a setup where more shareholders are willing to be part and parcel of the company, that also improves the share price. So this will be a great benefit to the shareholders to be in a company where it is properly managed. Once the company is properly managed, more shareholders are willing to buy the shares, and the demand on our shares will create an increase in the price of the very same shares. 4.22. Explain a possible reason why M. Kumalo says he will vote against the proposal by White Limited. Alright, we need to look into the background information. Alright, for this to work, it means we have a scenario here. L Limited has recorded declining profits in the past few years. The cash flow has deteriorated and the company has relied heavily on securing loans at high interest rates to manage its daily operations. Not so good for a business. White Limited is a respected company with a reputation of good corporate governance. They've made an offer to purchase the remaining 2,550,000 shares in L Limited at a price which is considerably more than the current market value. Mrs. Kumalo says that you will vote against the proposal. The other directors feel strongly that this offer is very generous. They are in favor of accepting the offer. So explain a possible reason why Sisi Kumalo says he will vote against the proposal by White Limited. So if you recall, he is a majority shareholder. That's number one. And also the CEO. So he feels that he will lose majority shareholding. That's number one. He will lose his majority shareholding control since the offer will dilute the shares in the share register. And he may also lose his CEO status. Very possible. Since the shares are diluted, they have to go to the AGM. Of course, the new company will not trust the person who had allowed the company to be in the financial situation where they are. They will try and say, we need a new captain for the ship, a person who can turn around the events, since the events are already what? Terrible. So those are some of the reasons why he will try to vote against the decision. And it may pass because he's the majority shareholder in any case. Now 4.23, explain why you agree with them, provide 1 point. This time around, you're on the side of the other two directors who are supposed to make a vote here. I agree with these directors because the CEO has taken a responsible decision. The CEO has taken a responsible decision. The first part is to understand that the company is in really dire situation. And how do we get there? It is because of the CEO and some of his decisions. Now, at this point, we have a valid offer that can then is voting against the good. So that's not a good one. The second point that you can talk about is interested in his personal interest. You can say he is pushing personal gain. We know that directors should always put the interest of the company first. At this rate, we don't think the CEO is in that capacity. He's thinking of his personal gain. He's thinking of his CEO status. He's thinking of his majority shareholding status. So he's not looking into this from the interest of the company. Now the last section, give the directors advice on how they should handle this. Provide 1 point. Number one, they can call up a special meeting with the shareholders. Maybe some of the shareholders will be able to convince him to see things properly, or they can ask him to step down. Although this one is a very bold move, it is allowed. They can ask him to step down. They can vote his directors and ask him to step down. You can start a grievance report to try and remedy the situation, because definitely the CEO is not in the best interest of the company. He is trying by all means to get personal gain rather than the company itself. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. We stop here for today.